Hopefully you're behind the wheel in the new NASCAR console game, NASCAR 25, just out, just released. So much fun to play. But remember, you not only get to drive, you get to crew chief as well. So I'm going to focus on the crew chiefing standpoint because I know I can't drive. I'm going to try, but my car has to drive really, really, really well. Every car comes with a base setup, but you can make adjustments, and they start with the simplest way to do it, and it's basically a slider. Remember, tight. What does that mean? You go down in the corner, the front tires don't want to work. It wants to go straight like you're on ice. Loose. Once the front tires do turn, you get too loose in the back doesn't want to grip up. So if you don't want to make specific adjustments, you can just instantly shade it one way or another. I'll tell you, the base setups I always find are just a little tight. So the first thing I would do is kind of come in here and maybe bump it over 25% on the loose side, especially at Martinsville. See if it helps your car turn, see how you like it. Now, if you want to get more in depth, you can go to the next page. Let's explain what is adjustable. On each corner, there's basically 5 settings. Spring rate. Self-explanatory, how stiff the spring is. You have the bump, which is kind of how stiff the shock is. Like, think about it in compression, trying to push the shock down. Rebound, how hard is it to pull the shock apart? Tire pressure, just like your car at home. Less tire pressure, more tire pressure. And then camber, how much you tip the tire itself. The difference is each corner, while it has the same adjustment, affects the car different, whether it's in the front or the back. So for instance, if your issue is on entry or the middle, I would suggest the front tires because they're kind of weighted the most, and specifically the right front. So I would jump over to the right front, and if I'm tight, if I go down in the corner and it wants to go straight, I would reduce the right front spring rate. That would help the car turn. Maybe I'm too loose on exit, I would reduce the rebound, allow the front to come up, allow the weight to transfer to the back. Think about a car like a table. Each tire is like a table leg. So if the rears aren't stuck enough, let the front come up, let the car work. Tire pressure is kind of a simple way to look at it is lower pressure is probably more grip to that tire. It doesn't work exactly like that, but that's how I would go if I was beginning in the game. And then camber is the more it's tipped in, the more that tire is going to work. So if you don't have enough front grip, tip the tire in. I will challenge you though, you can tip it too far and it might feel good right away, but the more you run it, it might get worse. Then if you want to look at some more global settings for the car, I'm going to come to the other side. Front sway bar is exactly what it says. Sway, how much does the car roll? A smaller front sway bar makes the car turn. A stiffer front sway bar makes the car tighter. The front wants to go straight more. Wheel lock, this is really just how much the front tires turn, right? If you turn and you just don't feel like they're turning quick enough or sharp enough, you can increase the wheel lock. Brake bias, when you get on the brakes, if the car's loose, the back of the car wants to slide around, you have to move that percentage. 58%, that is to the front. That is more front brake than rear. Normally, over 50-50 is the goal. 55, 56, 58% is pretty standard. Rear end ratio is just how much RPM you turn to go down the straightaway. Wedge, the number is the total weight on the right front and the left rear. More weight, tighter race car, better drive off. Doesn't turn the middle as good. It's a compromise. Less wedge, when you step on the gas, the rear tires are going to want to spin. Left side weight, I'm going to give you a little hint. You're only turning left. Max it out. 53.0. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. Now, if you go both directions, you get into the road courses, you probably want to be at 50. You either could even shy it one way or the other. But if you're only turning left, max left side weight, there's actually a rule in the NASCAR rule book, and you can only go to 53 in the game for that reason. Nose weight, that really is more of an entry to middle adjustment. That's how much weight is on the front tires. The higher the percentage, the more secure, the tighter, the more comfortable your car should be on quarter entry. But remember, the more comfortable you are on entry, the harder it's going to be to change direction. When you go to Martinsville, you are going to be uncomfortable in, tight in the middle, and loose off. You and every race car driver who has ever won Martinsville since the beginning of time has had the same 3 complaints. You're just trying to compromise across the 3. And then trim is not like you would think. We talk about aero trim on television and some other things, but this trim right here is really does your car run straight down the straightaway. It gives you an adjustment to kind of zero the wheel to make sure it runs straight down the straightaway. Now, sway bar in the back, it's actually optional. You can go all the way to 0 if you so choose. That would make the car very tight. At a place like Martinsville, there will be debates. Should you or should you not run a rear sway bar? I'm a big fan of one because changing direction is the key. So once again, a bigger rear sway bar makes the car turn. Looser in the back, a smaller, a little bit more secure. All right, now you've made all your changes, made all your adjustments. Now it's time to jump back behind the wheel, go give this car a try, see if it's handled any better, see if it drives any better. And the best part is when you complain to your crew chief, that's you as well. You have both jobs in this game. Good luck.